everyone, and welcome back to Sub-Lyme, my journey back to wellness. I'm feeling to have a bit of a chat today about anger in relation to panic attacks and anxiety. So if you've ever experienced that intense anxiety and panic that's so strong that it makes your body tremble, that has been my experience also of intense anger when I was younger, before I found ways to express it in a non-destructive way. And that took a really long time. So when I was younger, alcohol and cigarettes, that was the perfect way to suppress everything. And so when I quit smoking 12 years ago, I guess that really started my journey towards not having anywhere to hide from myself anymore and just having to deal with what comes up. And one of the great quotes that I've heard has been that if you don't find a way to actively reduce all of the unexpressed, unresolved anger that sits hidden in your body, then it will come out sideways. So we all know the person, sometimes it's ourselves. It definitely used to be me. That seems to be fine and everything seems to be smooth and nothing seems to be the matter, and then suddenly the tiniest little thing just sets off this banshee. It's like there's a devil inside that just becomes unleashed. And I've seen it so many times, and we all see it. We see it in road rage, we see it in people waiting for a train, just just that constant frustration, the people that are just constantly just ticked off at things all of the time, because all of those little things are just creating a stress that their body can't contain anymore. And I had somebody else say to me, it's like you've got a jar, and every single thing that happens that makes you angry is like one more drop in the jar. And if you don't find a practice that can help you to empty the jar, then eventually one little drop's going to go in and flood and create that fallout. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. So working through that, I found that not only do I now have a fuse, and I remember saying to a kinesiologist once, I feel like I just don't have a fuse. I just go from okay to just this explosive demon woman in seconds, and it feels uncontrollable. But that has definitely subsided now, and even if something happens to make me, or that I could respond to angrily, I have enough time and space to be able to really feel into what is actually going on, and to be able to respond rationally rather than fly off the handle. But it has taken a long time and a very dedicated practice. And I just thought I'd share some of those tools. One of the strongest ones was doing breathwork about 6 or 8 years ago. Now before that I had done primal therapy, which came about in the 70s by Arthur Yarnov, and it said that that was sort of like the grandfather of breathwork. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but they're definitely related. But I found that that practice was a bit too in the head, whereas the breath work that I've found more recently through different practitioners has been more body-based. So there's no real space for the for the judgment or the self-consciousness to come in and stop the process. The other thing that's been amazing is Kundalini Yoga, like I've mentioned before. And I'll actually put a link to one of my favourite videos in the description down the bottom. So this is a very simple Kriya that's only about 30 or 40 minutes. And I found last year when I was running a creative boot camp, so we were doing a circus week, teaching and putting together a show and rehearsing, and it was quite an intensive week. And I was already incredibly physically stressed because of this illness that I've been going through. But I found doing this Kriya every day, I realised on about day 3 that although there was a lot going on and we were just teaching and creating constantly and I wasn't getting much rest, but I was actually okay. So I'm sure, or I feel that just releasing so much anger actually gives the body a greater ability to be able to deal with stress. That's what I'm feeling. That's what it feels like for me. So I just felt like it would be helpful to share that if you are someone that suffers from a lot of panic and anxiety, that maybe some different forms of anger expression could be good. Sometimes I feel like I just want a punching bag. I should probably buy one. Sometimes just smashing the shit out of a pillow is awesome. And even though I don't do a lot of breath work these days because I just don't have access to groups, I'll just be in the van and just scream and scream and scream and scream and scream. And sometimes I just need to do that to help unleash that pressure. And I did that a couple of days ago when I thought that my van was finally fixed, because it's been off the road for 6 or 7 weeks now, even though it's been supposedly fixed 6 times. And I can't tell you the level of desperation of just needing to be able to go somewhere else when I'm in a space that's so cold and noisy and there's planes everywhere and traffic, and it's just been, I mean, I'm lucky I've got somewhere to be, but it's been incredibly stressful. And I just had to allow myself to just scream and curse and swear and do all of the things. And then amazingly I managed to get to sleep okay after that. And although my situation hasn't changed, my response to it and to the world is vastly different, because I'm just finding ways to get that anger out that are not violent, that are not destructive, that are just unleashing the energy. And I think it's important to understand that anger in itself it's not a negative emotion. It's incredibly powerful, and it's a fuel that helps us get things done. So it's very necessary. But if it's unexpressed and suppressed, then it comes out in violence, whether that's external or internal, because that shit can eat you up. So get it out of your body. Writing, singing, dancing, running, stomping your feet on the ground, stomping your bare feet on the ground, and allowing the earth to really soak up that excess energy can be amazing. I used to walk on the beach in bare feet in the middle of winter and I had chilblains. My toes were just stinging like mad, but I had to do it. It was my absolute grounding every day. So anyway, my throat's going. I'm gonna shoot off now. But happy releasing. And if you've got any cool resources for unleashing anger in positive ways, please feel free to put that in the comments below. And subscribe. So I'm doing updates, but I'm also sharing a lot of different information and resources too. So jump on board. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a beautiful day.